Hello, hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I love makeup, fashion, all things beauty, and I also am returning to a value-based consuming habit. If you are new here, I have a no-buy playlist that I will link down below. Today we're jumping off with another chopping block video, so back into the box of makeup that I need to replay with and figure out, am I going to finish it, am I going to rehome it? All of those good things. So I did already shop my stash, but today is going to be kind of maybe the start of how I want to approach this, but a new approach to this. I'm very interested in the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have two samples here in the shade 2. It is slightly dark, but I think we can make it work. And the new approach is going to be, we're going to wear test it because I have high expectations for this foundation. One, based off of the hype on the internet, and two, based off of some of you that I speak to over on Instagram. You have lofty claims, and I'm not saying that they're untrue. I'm very excited to try it. I just hope that I don't have my expectations too high. So we're for sure going to do that. I'm going to fill in the gaps with my collection, mainly around brows, mascara, concealer, and setting powder. But I do need to make some decisions on what I want to play with because I do have a decent amount of other base products from the blush and bronzer perspective that I need to test. I don't know if I want to test them today because I really want to give this foundation the best chance that it has, and I want to love my makeup. So let's just start with foundation and see if we get into this. I've got the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, a blush bronzer highlighter palette from Beautypie, a cream blush from Makeup by Mario, and then the cream bronzer, which is the skin enhancer, and then the skin perfector, which is the powder. And then I also have a blush from Sephora that we do need to talk about at some point. I've had that for a long time. It was when I was trying to do ColourPop Aphrodisiac. Phytosurgeons has since come in and changed the game for me. Then I also have this blush, and I think we will talk about this NARS blush in Behave when we get to blush, because the one that I think I'm going to use is one that I got for Christmas, and I'm very excited to talk about it. So let's start off. I'm going to prep my skin. I did one of those Korean face masks last night, and actually yesterday, and I still have quite a bit of glow from that, so that's very exciting. But I'm just going to use my typical skin prep. I like to have a very hydrated base going into makeup because I'm very dehydrated. And over the course of the day, that can make my makeup look what some people would call cakey, but it's actually just dried out on my skin. So if I moisturize my base, it lessens the chances of that happening. And it just overall makes the makeup lay much better. And it always feels good in the morning to do this. So it is not very early, but it's early. And so early. And not really early, but you'll get what I mean in a second. So early that I had to wait for the sun to come up to film. So lighting, hopefully she's with us today. And then for my SPF and to lock in that serum, I'm going to be using the Beauty of Joseon. It's about done. I think it's time to open the End Beauty and kind of do a side-by-side to figure out which one is going to take the Holy Grail spot, because I like both of them, but I have an inkling that I like the End Beauty just a little bit better. But if you're someone who struggles with white cast, I still think the End Beauty would work, but Korean sunscreen does have a leg up in that regard for most of the time because of the chemical filters they use versus zinc. So I'm going to let that sink in and dry or set down, and then we'll get into the foundation of it all. But first, coffee, you know. While we let that sink in, feel free to skip ahead. I'll put timestamps down below. But I do have a couple errands today. I also am hoping that I'm not too breathy. The amount of breaths that I've had to edit out recently are crazy. It's because I have recently stopped taking Singular. And I have done that because I've really struggled with sleep. And if you're on Singular, please do your own research and check in with your doctor and also with yourself. I spoke to my doctor, and with the black box warnings that are on Singular now for psychiatric symptoms like insomnia, mood swings, moodiness, depression, anxiety, I just thought, why don't we eliminate the potential suspect when it comes to my sleep let me see how I can do without Singular, because it has been 5 or 6 years since I've been on it, and I will tell you that this last week or two have been a little struggly. The first couple weeks things were still frozen pretty solid where I'm at, and I didn't have to worry about it, but I'm starting to have some stuff going on. I guess I've been struggling for 3 weeks because those last videos, I really had to edit out a lot of deep breaths, shall we say. All right, let's get into this. So I did open the other one a couple days ago to swatch it, and now I'm worried that it oxidized. But I don't think it did. But let's open a fresh one to give it all of the chances today. Oh, I am so excited. Now, this is a very pricey foundation. I kind of love that they came out with the 1/2 ounce, because where this would fit into my collection, I don't think would be every day. It would be more of like a when I want a full beat, which is not every day, and also events like going out or even like a family party. There is a slight scent, but it kind of just smells like an old school face cream. Okay, let's use the Rare Beauty foundation brush. I hope I didn't apply too much, but it came out quite more liquidy than I expected. My hopes going into this is that it is like a medium coverage, because that's what I like for more full beat days, and then I just make up the difference with my Rose Ink concealer. Because it is liquidy, and what I've heard before and why it sits well on the skin is because it's very lightweight, and it is. It was much more even than I expected, because I knew going into this that it is a lightweight formula, and my hope is that it feels like nothing on the skin. As we've talked about before, I like things that are very sensory pleasing and lightweight, and that I can't feel on my face. And ease of application is also very important to me, and so far we definitely have an ease of application. And I do think if I blend it, I do think it looks nice. It is, I would say that's almost lighter coverage than even the Chantecaille Future Skin that I use. And I do have a couple of breakouts in texture right here, which is going to be a really good test for this. This lighting is great for camera, and it's not so great for me being able to see. I actually think it looks really nice. I don't love the scent. And the match is not bad. I definitely could stand to go down a shade or two. But I am going to add just a little bit for a little additional coverage, just to see what we can build up to. And I'm going to press that in with my fingers. I don't really know why. I think because I had to put it on my fingers to start. Then we'll kind of touch up with the brush. It does feel very silky and lightweight, like everyone says. I will give it that. And it does look very nice. And built up, it's taken away pretty much, I would say like 95% of my redness. There's a little bit peeking through, but not much. It does blend out very nice. I'm very interested to see how this wears, because a lot of times you just need it to warm up to the skin. So it feels very comfortable. This is definitely more lightweight than the e.l.f. or NARS, in my opinion. Even though the NARS is very, very lightweight, it is a little tacky. So very curious to see how this sets down. I am going to use my trusty dusty from my collection, my Rose Ink concealer in LX01. I'm going to do that under the eyes, a little on the lids to prime them. And I do think we need a little extra in some areas, like by my nose and my chin. I'm going to blend the areas on my face with my Real Techniques Instapop face brush, just to give a light layer and sheer out the rose ink, because it is a very full coverage concealer. And then whatever's left on my nose. And then I might switch back to rose ink just for that point underneath my eyes, and we'll blend this out, and then I will set with the Westman Atelier powder in Pink Bubble. Okay, here we are. I think it looks really nice. The color, definitely a little dark. I mean, I have a turtleneck on, so that's fine for today. So I would take it a step lighter. I know that some of you have told me that it does run a little bit lighter, and honestly, this is not bad for a 2. Usually a shade 2 is pretty stark of a difference on me, so I do like it. The smell has not quite dissipated yet, even though it's only been a couple of minutes. It does really well with the rose ink. It's still a little tacky, but yeah, I like it. The finish is more, it says it's a luminous silk foundation. I do have a little bit of luminosity. A lot of that probably is from the mask I did yesterday and also my skin prep. This to me is a little bit more of like a satin soft matte. Like, I know that's not very helpful because those terms have been used for a wide array of different types of products, but to me, it's more matte than a lot of my other foundations, but it's not matte in a suck your skin dry kind of way, and it does feel hydrating. Like, I don't feel dry at all. It feels very lightweight and hydrating, so very interested to see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows with what I have in my collection. I need to shape and tint my brows very, very badly, so hopefully this does not go super awry today. But I'm using, from my collection, the Billion Dollar Brows pencil and gel in taupe. All right, brows on. I am gonna go ahead and use the Makeup by Mario Perfector and Skin Enhancer. And I am going to do this because I know that I like this product. I know how this product works. I just haven't worn it in a long time, and I just wanted to see how I feel about it stacked up against the other bronzers that I have in my vanity currently. And it's a shame because I'm so close to finishing this, but I do have a feeling that it's not going to be in the running for something that I finish, because I have the Westman Atelier and Biscuit, the Gucci powder bronzer, and then the, how can I forget, the Phytosurgeons, my favorite cream to powder bronzer. So it's not bad. This, once upon a time, and the reason I have so many bronzers is because we know 2023 into 2024 is like the year of the bronzer. Everyone was coming out with bronzers. At the time that I purchased this in 2023, and why it has such a divot in a pan, is because this was the closest neutral bronzer that I had come across at that time. And since then, Phytosurgeons has just, especially in terms of like a pan cream, is just such a better match. Again, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it belongs on my face. It's not that off in undertone. It's just that Phytosurgeons is better. And there's nothing about this, like that it's in a stick formula or anything that makes it stand out against the Phytosurgeons. It's the same finish, if not just a little less as good as the Phytosurgeons. So I think it's time that I part ways with this. But again, at the end of the video, we'll kind of review all of the things that I wore today and what's gonna happen to them. But before I go in with blush, because I am using a powder, I'm gonna set that bronzer with the Perfector. And I have both of these in shade light. Now, I do use this Perfector as eyeshadow with an inner corner highlight and then a crease. It's just a really easy and small thing to pack if I know I'm just going to be doing a cat eye or just want like a really subtle eye look. But I since have gotten the matte palette and the Moonlight palette from Makeup by Mario, and it kind of takes that over. See, and I think these together now, because my eye is trained to the Phytosurgeons and the Gucci, it's just a little too yellow and warm. All right, as far as blush goes, I got this blush for Christmas. It was inspired by my video where I was talking about what I'm looking for from makeup brands and purchases that I look back on and I really love and have used up. One of the only powder blushes in my existence that I've used up was this one. This is from Estee Lauder. I originally had it in a quad from a gift with purchase that I actually got for Christmas as well to put in the makeup museum. And what's interesting about this is in the current Estee Lauder refillable packaging, so your refill comes like this. We can do a full review in a different video if you want it, but I love this color. It is Lover's Blush, but it's not available on the Estee Lauder or Ulta site in the US, but I do think they are still selling it in Australia. If anyone is from Australia and can leave a comment and confirm, let me know. But it's just a beautiful beige, brownie rose gold blush. It does have shimmer in it. I love blushes like this because I can slap them all over my cheek and it is kind of like, and this to me is like the OG and still to this day a very true bronzer shade, especially if you are quite fair like I am and have neutral or a little bit of green olive in your undertone. It's gonna look intense because I just did that, but once we get eye makeup on, it'll make sense. Blush blindness, me, yeah, pretty much. And actually I'm gonna take some and just run it over my eyes to add some dimension there. Oh, I love this blush so much. It's so pretty. Why they ever stopped selling it in the US, I will never know. But what's interesting is this NARS Behave looks a little similar in the pan, but you can see this is where Lover's Blush just does it with color that no one else does. You can see it looks quite more like pink and peach on my cheeks. We are gonna tamp that down a bit. But if you see, a lot of these blushes that are trying to be beigey go more pink, and on my skin, which actually, it does come off, I didn't put any on. I thought about it. Intrusive thoughts win sometimes, you know, or impulsive thoughts, whichever. I don't know which camp I live in, to be honest. It's a little too pink. I think because I have only swatched this, I'm gonna pass this along probably, but again, we'll come back to that. For today, I am gonna use my Instapot brush because I did get a little carried away. I am also still getting used to how pigmented that formula is, and I get excited and just wanna slap it on my face and, you know, sometimes we have to work backwards from what we've done. And there's nothing really on this brush, but it'll just help kind of tamp it down a bit. I think that's better. Now, as far as eyes go, what I brought that I wanted to test was my Linda Hallberg pencils. I have a very strong feeling that these will not take the place of Victoria Beckham, and I know that I have a white in the Victoria Beckham, but I have these kind of more interesting shades, and I'm wondering if maybe we use a little bit of brown today. It's brown with a little bit of a shift in it, so kind of a cooler brown with just a hint of red. This is the shade Aweva. I might do this, but let's go ahead and do my trick. So I'm gonna take the Make It by Mario Perfector and just hit the inner corner with that highlight shade. And then because I didn't bring an eyeshadow brush in here with me, I'm gonna use what I use to set under my eyes and just pick up the bronzer and run that in the crease. Kind of blend that inner corner so it doesn't look too stark. And then for the eyeliner, I don't feel like sharpening it or getting a brush because I do need to get out the door sooner than later. Just going to add a little bit to the lash line and run my finger over it to blend it. And I am going to tightline. I'll do that off camera because that always looks weird. Just adding a touch to the lash line and smudging it. I mean, right away, it's just not as creamy as the Victoria Beckham. Now these might have lasting power, but on me, the Victoria Beckham does as well. So I really don't think these are going to take the place in my collection. And really the only color that I don't think that I have is probably this Zow Flash, because it's a little bit more silver. It's kind of like a champagne. So maybe I'll keep Zow Flash. And then this green is a little bit less blue than the Victoria Beckham. And then I have a true silver, but I don't wear silver. This is the Acela Okay, so this one right here is a little bit more gold, a little bit more red. That is Whipple. And then what I wore today and what is right next to it is that Aweva. Aweva is deeper and almost like a hint of purple compared to how red that one is. There you have it. I'm going to put some mascara on. The Sarah Creel that I've been using. Still love it. Okay, I just did one coat today. I didn't want to fuss with it. For lips, I do want to test another one of the Linda Hallberg pencils. So these are Eyes Lips Wherever, similar to the Makeup Forever. They're formulated to be that. And they're also made in Italy, but this is what shade? What shade are you? Mellow Mauve. Woo! That's what it looks like. A little bit more pinky, but actually, I think it's gonna go well. So I'm going to line my lips with that. These are very creamy for the lips, and wow, that just gave me a really nice definition. I don't know why I haven't grabbed this more because it is probably the closest that I have to my natural lips when they're dry. Huh. Feels a little sticky. I do need to grab a gloss or a balm. It's going to be a balm because it is dry here and my lips are really feeling it. I have a mini Lana Lips Strawberry. I can't wait to talk to you about a lip balm mini journey that I've been on. It was very interesting. And as many lip balms as I love, it really makes me laugh every time I end up going back to Lana Lips. In the deep winter, it's like, how many times do you learn the lesson? I have a few things in my life that I feel that way about. Lana Lips being one of them. So here's the finished look. Because I'm taking a lot of coffee breaks and being yappy, it is now 8:45. Look at Frank. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. It is 8:45. We'll do another check-in in a couple of hours, but I really like this. Dang. Am I going to hop on the Luminous Silk train? There's a likelihood. Also, some art that I need to hang up in the back. That's from a friend. I like this. I can't stop staring at myself. All right. 8:45. We'll check in very soon. I'm going to go chug coffee and run some errands. Hi. First check-in. It is 11:39. So it's been, what? Almost 3 hours? And this is what we're looking like. I have eaten breakfast and drank a lot of coffee, and I ran a couple errands, and I've also been watching Housewives of Potomac, catching up on, and putting away laundry and doing laundry, so nothing too crazy, although I'm not delicate with my makeup at all, in the slightest, just in general, let alone when I eat, so I like it. I think I got mascara here. Is this the new Glam foundation? I will say the scent kind of lingered until about around 2 hours, give or take a little bit. It's not overpowering, but it has gone away. I don't smell it on my upper lip or just in general. But yeah, everything's sitting really nicely so far, and the blush has not budged. So this is 2 hours in, and we'll check back very soon. Oh, I also filmed a video, so haha. I'll see you in the next check-in. Okay, here we are in natural light. I just filmed my vanity tour. It is 2:24. I don't have my phone. It's backwards, but natural light, here's how we're looking. It does look really good. I mean, I have wrinkles, I have acne, that's just, you know, the reality. I've been touching my face a lot in that one spot, but you can see my blush is perfect. I touch my chin a lot, that's always gonna happen, but I've been touching my nose a lot and it's still there. A little bit is rubbing off where I've been touching it, but look how dry my poor lips are. I am impressed. Look at my hair. been a crazy day. So it's been just under 5.5 hours. I'm extremely happy with this. I will try to wear it for another 3, and then I'm gonna shower because it's New Year's Eve and I'm gonna get into pajamas for all the festivities. But okay, I see all the people who love this, and I think I know what my next glam foundation is gonna be. It's at least worth the 1/2 ounce to try out, I think. I'm definitely gonna try to wear this sample again. But yeah, I can't get over this. This is so good. Okay, see you in another 2 to 3 hours. All right, bye. Bye, see ya. Okay, third and final check-in. Don't mind, I'm replacing my towel holder. We're in my bathroom. I don't have natural light. It is dark outside, but I do have daylight lights in here, so you're getting very true to form. Very unfortunate true to form. All right, so we started applying at 8. We finished the whole face at 8:45. This is the third check-in. It is 6:46, so I feel like this is pretty accurate to a full day of work, if that's what you're interested in wear test-wise. Now, I have done a few errands. I have cleaned, I've done laundry, I've bathed Frank, and he has licked my face because that's what Frank does, even outside of bathing. And I have cooked quite the spread for our celebration tonight. And I'm ready to shower, put PJs on, and have said celebration. But as you can see, blush, she's still on. The Rose Ink concealer is like bulletproof. So it is, I feel like the forehead's gonna be the most telling because I have touched this a lot, which is why that is gone. Same with my chin, and I've itched my nose with reckless abandon. You can see I don't rest. I rest more on this side than this side, so maybe this is the one we should use for the check-in. It's still, the finish is still very skin-like. And when I first put it on, it was more kind of matte looking. I still had dewiness. It is definitely a satin foundation. Luminous Silk, I think, is a very apt name. But as the days gone on, things set in, oils happen. I'm not very oily. And this, although it looks pretty drastic on camera, I'm still shiny in person. It's not as bad. But, I mean, for someone who touches her face a lot, like I'm not gonna be one of these people that can go a full day and not have wear down because I touch my face a lot. And the way this wears in, I do think you could revive it with a spray, like the Snail Mucin spray, the Fit Glow spray. MAC Fix Plus would be a really excellent one. Let's actually do that. I'm going to try to do that one-handed. Okay, so we're gonna do this one-handed. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but MAC Fix Plus. I also wanted to say I haven't touched up, I haven't added powder, I haven't done what I'm about to do, nothing. This is true to form. So I'm gonna spritz and saturate. This will make you dewy, so use a different spray if you don't want to be dewy. And then while that is still wet, this is not my dominant hand, I'm just going to see if we can blend in where it's really worn off. But ideally, you would do this when you still had a little bit more product. Like where I'm completely bare, it's never going to look perfected because there's not enough product to, you're bouncing, apologies. Not enough product to spread around, but you can make it look a little bit better. I mean, it's not ever gonna be perfect, but I shouldn't have touched my face like I did. But yeah, if you do this a little bit earlier when you still have a little bit and it's not completely bare like that, it's going to work. I just don't have enough product. The redness is a little bit more covered, but when you have more product and you do that, it will help. But I'm not looking for my makeup to look absolutely budge proof and bulletproof. I will say the Chantecaille wears away more evenly, even with me touching my face. But I think if I were more mindful about touching my face, it would be a perfect face of makeup, as witnessed by the bronzer and blush and the areas, basically this midsection minus my nose that I don't touch. So I think this is going on my wish list as my next glam foundation. Right now what I have for that is the CC cream and the e.l.f., but I need to retest the e.l.f. halo. It's gonna be really interesting after doing this one. But if the e.l.f. doesn't work out, I do think I might consider purchasing this because the It CC cream, it just transfers so much, and I really only like it for summer. But this is all going to be a discussion around no buys that's going to be coming soon, so stay tuned for that. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will say my final decisions are I'm going to keep wearing these samples. Hello, another day, another clip. I have almost the same makeup on minus my eyeshadow and lips. I just wanted to, do the recap of the products that we tested out of the Reckoning box, Purgatory box, whatever the box is called. I need a name for the box. I don't know. It's the chopping block box, if I'm being honest, but we need to talk about what's happening to those products that I spoke about. And I just wanted to address some things in the last clip. One, I'm happy to share that last clip, and a lot of you may look at that and say, like, why is she saying it's a good foundation if it wore off in a really crazy way? It doesn't wear off in the best way like some of my other foundations. You definitely see like a stark difference between coverage and not. That's because it's higher coverage than I usually wear and wear away. Two, I'm not a delicate person. If I'm giving you a wear test on something, know that it has gone through the ringer, because I'm touching my face, I'm banging my nails around. I don't have great perioception as an autistic woman, and I bang through my life for the most part. But I know if I would do this foundation again for an event, I would make a conscious effort not to do those things. But day-to-day life, I'm not being delicate. So I still think it's an absolutely great foundation. I do think it's half-ounce worthy. Once I get done testing my other foundations and figuring out if there is truly a gap for a more glam foundation, that will be the one that I go with. I didn't get any irritation. This is a few days out. I love it so much. I completely understand the hype. Completely and totally understand the hype. It's beautiful on the skin. The finish remains as long as you don't scrub at your face and touch your face. It's just so good, and I've worn it a couple of times. I'm completely out of my samples. A sad one, but I love it. That said, what are we doing with the products we talked about? Makeup by Mario is going out of my collection. I will see if my sister wants to use these because I don't think that the cream is in the best state to hand to a stranger. And if not, the powder will go to my nieces or someone. The NARS blush is going to go back in the Reckoning box because I need to try it again. I didn't technically wear it. And then lastly, I believe, are the Linda Hallberg pencils. The eyeliner didn't last on me enough to constitute these taking up space. And I have, for the most part, all of these colors other than that champagne. So what I'm going to do is keep the champagne and that lip color because that is the closest I've come to my actual lip color. And that formula feels a little bit different. I don't know why. It could be age. I don't know. But the rest of these are going to go to my nieces. I know that they will love them, or even my sister. And so that means that this is going in the play box and this is going into my vanity. The rest of it is gone. We're working our way through this. It feels so good. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching this wear test. Let me know if you like wear tests and you want to see more of them. I can even do them on just makeup looks that I do unrelated to one specific product. So let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Ringy boy. You tell him you got a bath? Did you get bath? Oh, it looks so nice.